right. The Moor. Not wanting more, but the Moor. We'll find out what this is all about here, starting with the IMDb plot. Claire is approached by the father of her murdered childhood friend to help investigate the haunted moor. He believes is his son's final resting place. That doesn't sound too good. So at the top here, as usual, start off by saying there's a new film just coming out. I believe it's been shown at a festival or two, so some people have already seen it. And I did receive this as a screener, so that you guys know that as well. So we'll try to keep this kind of spoiler free. There is maybe a little bit too spoiled, so we'll try to keep that out of the way here. Um, so yeah, as this movie kind of opens, you see a young girl and a young boy here, and the young lady here is kind of plotting to steal some candy from the store, and she's kind of trying to get this boy to go along with her. And so honestly, I thought they were brother and sister to start, but then you find out that they were just friends. But uh, the young boy kind of goes into the store to kind of be the distraction, and then the girl kind of slithers her way in here, steals some candy, goes outside. Um, there's something weird going on, kind of in this um, alley that's kind of next to the store there, and she kind of gets distracted. She kind of goes back, um, and the boy is not in the store, and kind of goes back outside, and then it's like he's just gone. And the shop owner is a little weird, and I believe there was another kind of customer that kind of came in, and so you're not really sure, if the store owner did something, the other guy did something, the boy just vanished or whatever, but he's gone. And you find out that it's possible that he was taken by someone who apparently may have taken other children around this time and so forth. And it is, yeah, I think, what did it say, 25 years later or something like that. And but the boy is basically presumed dead, and obviously the woman is now grown up, but she is definitely has some guilt about that and that event in her life early on. And the father of the boy kind of is going to come and approach her. She's kind of moved on. I think she does like a podcast or something like that. Not necessarily about what happened, but just other stuff to kind of is part of her life and kind of help her move on. And the father kind of comes and approaches her, and to try to get her to almost revisit this. And I don't remember exactly what it is that kind of draws him to thinking that the boy is in the moor, but he wants to investigate, and he wants her help. It is a little bit odd, why couldn't he just do it on his own, blah, 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 blah. He kind of wants to drag her into this, so you're kind of like, I don't know, it has alternative motives, is it just because he needs someone who can kind of relate to his pain, and so forth. So he kind of convinces her to kind of go on this journey as well. And then in a total another weird thing is they kind of involve this kind of psychic as well, and that's where things kind of turn a little bit strange, and that kind of just adds some added strangeness to the film. Um, but yeah, so as it started off in that opening scene, I'm like, oh, I was kind of interested. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get kind of like a true crime kind of movie here, and I'm kind of into the true crime stuff now, as well. So I'm like, I'm like kind of intrigued. But then that kind of washed away quickly because we're like, oh, okay, well the boy is already dead, so it's not like we're looking for this boy. Um, and then it kind of seemed like they knew that who the killer was, if I got that correctly. So it wasn't like we're solving the case, but it was just like, we want to find where his body is, and it was more of that kind of thing, and kind of like they just need closure to this all. So it seemed like it was more of that thing. So I'll admit I was a little bit disappointed at the opportunities there, and they were all kind of sucked away. Um, but then the movie kind of drifts into some really weirdness, especially when they involve this psychic. Um, Obviously, there's something going on in the Moor. Lots of stories about it. None of it, usually good. It's dark, evil, and so forth. So as they kind of draw in this psychic, some weird stuff starts happening. Are they being haunted by something? Is something following them? Is there really a presence? They kind of introduce those kind of questions with this psychic. Um, the father, the Claire, and a couple of other people are going to go out into this moor and kind of do this investigation. And they kind of go and then they come back, and they go and they kind of come back, and it's kind of like a back and forth. And usually when they go, when they're away from the moor, it's kind of like just regular movie shot. When they kind of go to the moor, there are some scenes that seem like it's more found footage, like someone's filming it. They also have these moments in the film where they seem like you're going to her podcast or whatever, and they're like talking to other people about the moor and about other stuff, maybe about the events that happened long ago. So there's lots of different pieces going on here. Their time when they're investigating the moor, their time where they're showing old footage and other footage, and the time when they're with the psychic. So you kind of have to juggle and watch all these moments and kind of figure out what the hell really is truly going on here, and put all these pieces together. I will say that this movie is almost just short of 2 hours, and you will probably feel every minute of that. It is a very, very slow burn movie here. So if you're not into slow burn movies here, this is your warning. It is definitely a slow burn movie. They're not going to move with any quickness to get to really what is happening and to get to the final scene of this movie, which I will mention is strange in itself. It does a little bit reveal, a little bit of what is going on here. But is a bit strange. But the whole movie does have some strangeness to it. But it is going to be slow, and like I said, it's going to have those different elements that I just mentioned, and you're just going to have to follow those pieces to see, what is important, what is not important. I don't know that they needed it to be so long, but it is what it is. So I guess the moments when they are in the moor, if you're looking for the spooky moments, the scary moments, that kind of stuff, definitely when it's out there, there are going to be moments where people start, kind of getting away from the group, either running or maybe take the wrong direction. That kind of, lifts the tension a little bit. It is very foggy out there, muddy in some areas. There's some places that, if you take the wrong turn, it's not going to end well. So you have lots going on out there, along with, whatever you want to believe is happening here, whether it's a ghost, a dark presence, maybe the area is just bad luck. That is over, always the overhang here, that what is going on here. And, they're going to search. And then you're also going to maybe have some moments again with the psychic. Anytime the psychic comes, as this kind of goes on, you're going to have some of those moments as well. Is there a presence there? What is happening? Is it a ghost? Who's kind of controlling things? So you're gonna have some odd moments there too. So that's always gonna be the overhang. So if you're into a slow burn movie with maybe a little bit of mystery to it, a little bit of creepiness and darkness to it, it creates an atmosphere there. Um, I guess because they mix it up, it kind of takes you on that kind of roller coaster where, the tension's going to go up and then it's going to break and up and break. Um, I don't know. I might have preferred it better had they had, just done a lot of whatever they were going to do before and then kind of move to the Moor and then just let them stay there and then, whatever it's going to happen, as opposed to, kind of breaking it up into pieces. But, whatever, maybe the movie could have moved a little bit faster if they had just done that. But then on the other flip side of that, then, maybe it would have been more of too much of the typical movie where, we're doing our investigation, we're moving to the main place, and then whatever happens, happens. So, I don't know. I guess, kind of give and take there for what you really want out of it. Like I said, it is a little bit weird. I might have preferred it better, if we were actually looking for the boy, if he was alive. I know this is 25 years later. It could happen, and it doesn't usually, but it could happen. Or maybe the killer, but instead, we're just looking for a dead body. But I think, I guess, you put all that aside about what you want, and it is more about whatever the haunting that's going on here, whatever the darkness is, whether ghost haunting, whatever it is that's happening out here is more about that. Like I said, I don't want to give it away and kind of stay spoiler free here. It does kind of amp up a little bit, obviously, in the final scene there, but is a little odd. But again, I guess everything that's kind of been put in place as the movie goes on, it's not overall shocking. And in some ways, as weird as it is, and kind of, here and there, I wasn't totally surprised with what happened at the end. It maybe without not following every single detail that was going on here, you almost kind of felt it might go in that direction, or that might happen, and then it kind of did. So not a total shock there. I'm not going to say they were super trying to hide it from you either, but I wasn't totally shocked by what occurred there. So yeah, it is. I think that kind of sets up what you're going to see here, and what you're going to get out of it. I don't think it's not going to be heavy on jump scares if that's what you're going to look for. It is definitely more about the atmosphere that it creates, especially when they're out here in the Moor, and definitely maybe some creepiness, and some darkness, whatever. It's not it's not, I don't think, particularly heavy on anything in particular. It's just kind of falling the pieces in line until the end happens here. And the acting overall is all right. It's pretty good, and not nothing that's going to distract you and get you away from it. Like I said, I would have preferred maybe it been a little more straightforward, and not so much of kind of going to this Moor, going back. I know the Moor is the main place here, the main theme of the movie and what's going on here. So, to me, it would have been maybe a little bit better if we spent more time just there and not kind of there and then not there, there and not there. So, if you watch the movie, I think you'll see more about what I'm talking about in that regards. So with that, and I'll be honest, slow burn movies aren't typically for me. I'm not a huge fan. I kind of lose patience with it, and unless a movie has a lot of action and a lot of stuff going on, once it is approaching 2 hours, it becomes a little much for me. It depends. Every movie's different on its own. I've seen plenty of movies that are 2+ hours that keep me in and whatever. But it for some, I think it might also be a struggle here at almost 2 hours. So just to keep that kind of in mind. When you're thinking about watching this film. But so yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one 2.5 pools of blood. Some good stuff here, but again, a little bit too much slow burn, and a little too slow for me. But definitely has some interesting moments there, and maybe I wanted it to be a little bit more true crime-ish. Maybe I need to go back to Netflix and turn on something true crime to watch. But it is overall a solid film. It was well done. Definitely, I think they nailed the moment out in the moor, keeping it dark and foggy, and definitely some weirdness there. So yeah, that's 2.5 pools of blood out of 5 for this one. And like I said, it is a new film and it will be out shortly. And I believe I have a press release at Promote Horror, and I will try to include that link down below. So if you want more information on the film and where to find it and so forth, maybe some images and trailers and so forth, you can find it there down below. And speaking of down below, horrorgory-reviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews written in video. Definitely plenty of video reviews as of late. So you can just like and subscribe and do all those things that everybody wants you to do right here. But if not, no worries. It is okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. Feel free to reach out there if you have something you want me to review, you want to talk horror, talk about this movie, other movies, whatever. Feel free to go for it there. And definitely in the comment section, once you see this movie, feel free to put in your 2 cents there. And if you'll be taking a trip to the Moor or not. And this is not the morgue, this is the Moor. So maybe 2 places you don't want to be. Definitely choose the Moor over the morgue, but that's a different story. So with that, I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.